the question that everyone is asking is why is the United Arab Emirates doing this? Why are they involved in the Sudan war? And some people always argue about it's about the money, it's about the gold, the farmland, and the business. And yes, these things matter, but I don't think they're enough of a reason. I don't think they're the real main reason. And the bigger reason is influence. The UAE is a very small country with very huge ambitions, right? It has money, power, and connections. And but what it wants most is control over things and how things are happening in the region itself. And to get that, it uses money to buy influence. So in Sudan, for instance, the United Arab Emirates is accused of supporting the Janjaweed, the RSF. The Janjaweed, as you know, is a militia that is responsible for killing civilians, for displacing families, and destroying cities, all of cities. They go in a city and they destroy it. And from reports from the United Nations and Amnesty International and Reuters, like they show that weapons and supplies have been sent through UAE-linked routes to Sudan, through Chad and to Chad. But the UAE denies this, and they're saying that they're actually providing humanitarian aid. So let's talk about the evidence, though. The evidence that are telling us a completely different story than what the UAE is actually saying. So why back a militia like the RSF, like the Janjaweed? And there are three, I think, main explanations that people can talk about. They've been talking about gold, agriculture, and what I want to refer to as influence, but it's mostly ideology. So first of all, Sudan is one of the Africa's largest gold producers, and that's a given, right? And most of the gold already kind of goes to the UAE. It's refined in Dubai and it's exported to the rest of the world. So the UAE already benefits from Sudan's gold. Let's be really honest about it. So they don't need a war for that. They can just have control over it with money, which they actually have. Second of all, agriculture. Sudan has more farmland than I think almost any other African country. And the UAE is mostly desert. It imports a lot of their food. I think almost close to 80% of their food. That's why we have a lot of Emirati companies in Sudan, for instance, who bought or leased areas of Sudanese farmlands for years, right? So again, this war, it just doesn't have to be about food or farming, right? And that leaves the third reason, which is influence. And it's an ideology. The UAE leaders are deeply opposed to political Islam, to any movement that mixes religion with politics. And they see it as a threat to the rule, right? So in Sudan, the army does have some connections with the Muslim Brotherhood. Let's be really frank. The UAE supports the RSF, that side that's not Islamist, because that weakens the religious influence inside Sudan's structure, right? This is obviously, if you've been following the world for the past 20 years, this is a part of a wider pattern. Like if you look at Libya, for instance, the UAE, they supported Haftar against the Islamist groups. In Yemen, they supported the Southern Tradition, I think they're called the Southern Transitional Council, for the same reason, right? But in Somalia, it also funds regional leaders who reject Islamist politics. It's the same approach everywhere. And in Gaza, for instance, they're anti-Hamas because they're Islamists, right? Everywhere they go about weakening Islamic movements, strengthening secular or military power to keep control of the region's politics. There's also geography, right? Like Sudan has a long coastline on the Red Sea, a key trade route between Africa and Asia and Europe. And if the UAE influences who controls Sudan, it also influences who controls that route. But what's happening as a result, this war in Sudan that has displaced close to 14 million people, 25 million people are facing hunger, and the country is literally collapsing, right? The UAE may be saying that they're bringing stability, but its actions have actually brought the exact opposite. They're playing a long game, but the cost of that long game is that Sudan is become an arena for their regional ambition. And understanding this matters, man, because Sudan's war is not only a local conflict. I know the partners on the ground are Sudanese, right? But it is a reflection of how powerful nations use influence, ideology, and money to shape the future of weaker ones for their own benefits, right? And if we want peace, we must first understand who benefits from the chaos, from the actual war itself, and we need to be able to hold these people accountable. And the only way they can understand this is through finances, through money. So I'm asking you guys, this is not at all an issue with the Emirati people. I'm going to be really frank about this here. Wallahi, I have dealt with so many Emiratis and they've been nothing but decent. I worked in the UAE, I've worked with Emiratis, and I've got nothing but respect. But their government is just absolutely a mess. They are the shaitan of the Middle East, and they need to be stopped. And their power comes from money that you provide for them through your travel there, through you investing there, through you just traveling there and being there for them. We need to boycott the UAE. That's the only way we can cut off the money from this war that's happening in Sudan right now, and bring back these displaced people to their homes.